Full disclaimer, I am not on admissions. I do not know how admissions works, but knowing what I know now, being a senior at the University of Michigan, I am certain that I could write a killer why Michigan essay. Hey Maddsters! Today I just wanted to make this video about how to write why college essays. I hate writing these essays when I was applying to colleges because it's like annoying. It's a lot of work, a lot of research, and a lot of fluff, basically. So I was not a fan of this, and they definitely take a lot of time in order to make it really good. Also, I feel like this is kind of like what makes you stand out, maybe? I don't know. This is all me like theorizing, but I'm not an admissions, so don't quote me on this. I don't know. This is just like my guess. But here are some things I would write about if I were in your shoes again, having to write these why college essays. For a little background, I wrote my Why Michigan essay about a study abroad program in the sciences in Brisbane, Australia. I talked about how I want to be a doctor and be pre-med and like go abroad because I don't know, that's what I want to do at the time. Now, flash forward to my senior year, I went abroad to Copenhagen, Denmark. I am not doing pre-med, and I did this like other program to fulfill my psych requirements because I had to do it. So none of it actually happened, but I got in, so there's that. I would say that the best thing that you can do for your why college essay, and this is applicable to any college that you're applying to, is to go on a campus tour. Logistically, that may not be feasible if the college you're visiting you really want to go to is far away, but if you can get on campus and just find something super niche and weird or like really cool about that, I would 100% write about that. One thing I wish I would have written about in my essay was how nice the students here were and how collaborative they were. On my tour, one of the tour guide's friends like came up and like gave them a hug, was like, "You're doing a great job." And so I really could have milked that and been like, wow, even though Michigan's such a top tier school, I can really see the community and the family that people built and really like latched onto that. Another thing are of course the diet of squirrels. This is like a huge thing, and so I wish I would have like talked about how much like I love squirrels and I love wildlife and like whatever, like milk that. And I think that could add an interesting twist to be like, I am invested enough in the school to visit the campus, and here's like how it makes me feel at home. Unfortunately, this just like isn't feasible for everyone, but if you can visit it, be super nitpicky and be like, oh my god, this like amazing thing happened on my tour, if you can do it. Another thing to write about is if you have a very unique major or interest. So one unique major at the University of Michigan is the organizational studies major, which I did apply to and I did not get, but it's within LSA, basically LSA's version of business, and it's a combination of psych, soc, and econ. And so that is a really cool major. It's super competitive, 50 juniors and 50 seniors every single year. And so it's super competitive, but had I known more about that major, I totally would have written about that and been like, this major is so cool, like it's directly correlated to what I want to do in the future and like integrate blends of business and working with people, and you can like go off of tangents like that. I did actually know about org studies as a major, but I thought it was pre-med, so like I didn't really write about that. But try to find some like specific major if you're like remotely interested in it. Obviously, if you're not interested in, like, don't write about it because that's pointless. So for example, I went to Penn State and I went to their little like food science ice cream shop. I thought that was so cool. So if I was writing like why Penn State, I'd be like, oh my god, I went to the Berkeley ice cream shop and like I'm a food science major, I love this and how whatever. So try to really tailor it to your interest. Another thing that you could tailor to yourself is any unique club or like extracurricular that the school offers. So kind of going back to Penn State because I just like went there for a gymnastics meet. Their big thing is Thon, which is their huge like 46-hour no sitting like dance marathon. And so if I was really into like raising money and like volunteering, I would like write about that. Michigan does have a version of that called DMUM, so you could like write about DMUM or various orgs on campus. Like Michigan has Quidditch, they have, I don't even know what they have, but there's like thousands of clubs here. Talk about how your like very niche thing like helps you build a community on campus. That takes a lot of research, and it's kind of tough if like there's no club that you really like, so like don't write about that, but that is an angle that you can approach with. Going off of that is just like various opportunities that you have as a student at the University of Michigan. So for example, if you're in the School of Kinesiology and you're doing athletic training as a major, students have the opportunity to work with the D1 athletic teams here on campus. And so every D1 team has a student trainer, and so they really get a lot of hands-on experience and exposure to athletic training with these great D1 sports. So that's definitely something that you can highlight. Be like, I really love athletic training, like I want to pursue it. The School of Kinesiology like really lets me get this hands-on with like top sports in the nation. Another thing unique to Michigan is Europe. So we're a very research heavy school, and so if you're like into the hard sciences, you don't want to do pre-med, want to do whatever, even if you don't want to do pre-med and you like to research, like any major can do Europe, and just be like, yeah, I'm really interested in like research and really love the Europe opportunity for undergrads. And so really try to deep dive into the like very niche Michigan things that you can write about and like apply to yourself. And the absolute worst thing to do when writing these things is to talk about the cliches. Michigan knows that we're super smart. Like Michigan knows the school spirit. Michigan knows the big house. Michigan knows like the basics, okay? Don't be like, oh, like I stepped on campus and I was so in awe of like going to the big house and whatever. Like everyone writes about that because everyone loves the big house. Like, oh my God, I want to be surrounded by top people in the field. Like that's just how college is, you know? So try to stay away from that. Try to stay away from the cliches. Obviously do a little bit of it because like they want to boost up the ego. But I personally think that the key to like why college essays is to find like these obscure things. Be like, I did my research, I know what my interests are, and this is how it's going to help me. But also I'm not in admissions, so I don't really know. But that's what I would write about. I hope this was helpful and potentially gave you guys some things to write about for your application essay. As always, let me know if you have any other questions. Please do not come at me if you don't get in because, once again, I'm not in admissions, but I do want to try to help you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye, Maddsters.